In this video, I'm going to be showing you the difference between condensed structural formula and structural formula. The first example here is to write the condensed and structural formula of 2-9. Now, to start, the first thing we do is to identify how many carbons we are dealing with. And here we are given none, which is 9 carbons. And the surface here, I, represents triple bonds. All right, so the easiest way to do this, if you are asked to draw a condensed structure, is to first do the structural formula. Okay, if you draw the structural formula first, it will be easier to get your condensed structure. So let's do the structural formula first. We already know that this is 9 carbons, so you draw out your 9 carbons. You have your 9 carbons written out. The next step is, of course, this tells us we have triple bonds and is on the second carbon. So we put the triple bonds here. After this, next is to fill up the hydrogen. Now, as you fill up the hydrogen, you make sure that all the carbons are having 4 bonds. Okay. So for this first carbon here, we have 1 bond already. So we make 4 bonds by adding 3 hydrogens. Now this other one we can count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is complete. So we go to this 1, 2, 3, 4. This is also complete. We'll go to this next one, we have 2, meaning we need to add 2 hydrogens. This one here also has 2, so we add 2 hydrogens to make it 4. This one also make it 4 by adding 2 hydrogens. And we do that for the rest. Okay, now for this last one, it has just 1, so we need to put 3. Hydrogens. Now from this, it's now easy to write out your content. So this here is what we refer to as structural formula. So this is the structural formula of 2-9. And in order to draw the condensed formula, what we just do is start from here. This is your first carbon. This first carbon has 3 hydrogens. Put the 3 hydrogens beside it. This one here has no hydrogen, but has a triple bond to another carbon. Put that there. Okay. Now this other carbon here has 2 hydrogens. Put it in front. This has 2 hydrogens. This also has 2 hydrogens. This has 2. This has 2. And the last one has 3. Now, you see the difference is that in structural formula, all the bonds, all the atoms are spelled out. Okay. Whereas in the condensed structural formula, you do not need to put the bonds. So you condense all the bonds. This next example is to write the condensed structural formula of pentanal. All right. So we also start by writing the structural formula. And pent here tells us we're dealing with 5 carbons. So let's start with that. Put 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Now we have now is the surface for aldehydes. Okay, so this means that we have a pentanal, so there has to be a double bond. So I put double bond O and hydrogen. Okay, and then when I'm done with this part, the rest is to add all the hydrogens, make up. This one has 2 bonds, so put 2 hydrogens. This has 2 also, put 2 hydrogens. This also has. So this one here is the structural formula with all the bonds spelled out. Now, if we are to do the condensed structure, we start again by the first carbon. We have CH3. This one here we have CH2. This here we have CH2. We have CH2, and then C double bond OH, like that. Okay, so with this you have your condensed, and this one is the structural formula. Okay. The next question is write condensed and the structural formula of 3-methyl butane 2O. Okay, this is butane, which is telling us that we have 4 carbons here. So we have 4 carbons drawn out. And the second part is the one. You have 2 one, that means a ketone. Okay, and it is present on the second carbon. So you put the double bond O. And then you have on the third carbon, you have a methyl group. Put the methyl group here. Then the next step would be to fill up our hydrogens again. So you have 1 bond here, so fill this up. 3 to make it 4. This is complete. This is 2 bonds and 3, 4 complete. So you have 3 already here. Add your hydrogen, and that completes it. And then over here you have 1 bond only and 3 hydrogens. And complete that. Now this is your structural formula. We then go to writing the condensed structure, and the first step here will be to write out the CH3. So you have carbon with 3 hydrogens surrounding it. Then this would have the double bond O, and here you have this carbon, that hydrogen, and the CH3. Now, why do we put the CH3 in brackets? That is to show that this CH3 is attached to this carbon. Okay, so that is how you do it. For example, if what is here is OH, you do the same thing. So you put the OH in bracket to show that that particular OH is attached to the carbon behind it. Okay, and then we go ahead to this, and we have CH3. So this will be your condensed, and that's up there is your structural formula. Okay. All right, so this is how you draw condensed structural formula.